Third thing I wanted to just ask about, Terry had polled the board to just find out availability on dates. I know that County Commission is planning, I think, still to vote on the budget on June 15th. I will say that I have plans for 1 week in June. I know other people have plans for the other week. I would like to know what the intent is right now, and just strongly, unless there's some pressing need that we have to get it done before a certain date, that we tie it in with our July budget, because that is the most important vote a board member gets to make. And I will be very upset if a date is set where I've already made family plans months ahead of time and I get eliminated from that vote. So
there are people that are not going to be here. You're not alone in the third week. There are also people that are involved in the fourth week.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that I asked her to survey people was to see if
if we could do it.
if we had, well, if we would have enough people to, you know, to have, first of all, you got to have a quorum, and just basically just to see how many people were going to be here, because there are going to be people, you know, out of town both weeks, as I said. We have to wait and see what the commission does the 15th before we, you know, would have any undertaking, assuming that they're not going to approve our request intact. I'm thinking, or I was thinking about, and I know this, you're not going to like this, but you know, we can't satisfy everything. I'm thinking about if they do approve the mayor's budget, or if they approve something close to the mayor's budget, that, and Dr. McIntyre and I had a little discussion about this the other day. I think that it's time for staff to go ahead and look at some possibilities. And what I'd ask him was to bring some things to us, not just this is my recommendation, but if we have to make X number of adjustments, here's some options. And then of course he's free to make his recommendation. But I think we need to start the discussion. Now, I doubt seriously if, I think there are 3 people that are going to be out that week. If we had something, say the 17th or 18th, it would take 5 votes to pass anything. So I don't anticipate that we would actually pass anything. But I do think that we could have some discussion and get started with it, and then, you know, it might be that we would have to do that prior to our July meeting. But I think I don't think it'll be a real short thing. That's my reluctance to, and I might be wrong, but that's why I don't want to roll it into another meeting unless I absolutely have to, but I probably will here in this case.
Well, I guess my concern is this, and I think it would be fair for you to get the sense of the board's thinking as you make your decision. Again, voting on the budget is one of the biggest responsibilities this board has. I would like to finish. I plan a year ahead of time to be here on the meetings that are out in date. I mean, I know that July, whatever it's going to be, I arrange my calendar around that, particularly knowing that in the May, June, July time period, we're going to be voting on the budget. It happens every single year. So I think if you want to have a workshop on the 17th, 18th, so that initial discussion can be done, I have no problem with making sure that wherever I'm at, I will find a way to listen in and know what's going on. but to even potentially hold a vote when you know that there are 3 people who can't be here, I think it just talk about transparency and lack of transparency. I just think it looks bad, and I want the opportunity to vote on the budget that I'm partially responsible for.
You probably will have the opportunity to vote on it, probably at the July meeting.
Well, you're saying probably if
I'm
you
saying
can't get 5
probably.
votes
Yes,
at
I'm
the
saying
7th.
probably because what I said a moment ago was that there's 6 people that are going to be in town.
Mm-hmm.
Now, will all 6 of them show up? I would hope so.
I would think so.
Okay. And we can have discussion. All right. And somebody can make motions and we could take a vote. But we would have to have, you're shaking your head.
Yes,
No, yes, we can.
I'm agreeing that you
Can
can.
I
I'm
join-
saying
can I join in
think
on
it's
this for a minute?
wrong.
Because I think I'm one of them.
I'll let you get
Okay.
in just a minute.
All righty.
You know, but
But what's the rush, Mike, to take away our right? How many?
I'm not taking you right away, Ken.
Sure you are.
No, I am not. You didn't let me finish. It's very unlikely that there would be 5 votes to approve anything. So basically, it might turn into a workshop. But I'm not going to say definitely, no, we're not going to consider this, and nobody can make motions or anything. If I decide, and I haven't decided for sure, but if I decide to have that, I'll give the proper notice, and you know, if you all are gone, I understand you make plans a year ahead of time, and there are a lot of other people that do. This is kind of an unusual situation that we haven't faced in recent years.
That's not true. We voted on, there are many times we've voted on the budget in July after County Commission has made changes based on what their recommendations are. Mike, my point is, clearly you are going to do what you want. I think as chair, you represent the will of the board. If you have a compelling reason why that vote has to happen before July 3rd, then I think you should spell it out. If not,
I don't have any
then
ulterior
it's my
motive
request
here.
that you wait until
Well,
the majority of the board can be
If
here.
I decide to have it as chair, I will announce it, and if people show up, we may just have discussion. We may not take any votes or anything. But for you to sit there and tell me because you're going on vacation that I can't have a meeting, you know,
During a time that it is a called meeting, it's not a scheduled meeting, it's.
I understand
So
that.
there's a very different thing than saying, I want to go on vacation and therefore.
I understand
you can't
what
have a
you're,
meeting.
I understand what you're saying. Ms. Singer?
As a matter of fact, actually, I passed down an England trip. I could be in England right now because I thought there was a possibility to go, that there might be a vote on the budget this time in June. So for me to then actually make alternate plans and go on vacation when I didn't think there would be a meeting, and to not have the chance to actually probably not vote for the budget, I mean, I think I would like that chance as well, especially since it's my first budget cycle. And I get it, Mike, that you said probably, but I really don't like that word probably. I would like to know either we are or we aren't. And I guess the other thing would be is, are we saying that we're going to only vote yes if, because this is what I heard you say that if County Commission said that they will approve or come close to the mayor's budget, then we probably will vote? Or are we going to probably vote if we're $6.5 million off?
We have to
You know,
see
so
we have to see what they approve first. And then, you know, if they leave us 6 million or 6.5 million or 4 million or 2 million short, then we have to discuss whatever we're left short, we have to discuss what our priorities are and where we want to spend the available money. Now, I don't think y'all are going to be left out, except you're probably going to be left out of some of the discussion. But as far as when it comes to actually voting and a vote that carries this board, I think you'll be there.
And so,
for that.
Mr. Law Director, so that's totally fine, that we can just have a call meeting and only have 6 people on a budget, and then just probably have a motion and probably pass or decline the budget, or, I'm just trying to figure it out, because this is my first time around, and I don't like, that doesn't settle well with me, I guess.
Okay. Special call meetings have to be noticed with ample time for the public to make arrangements to attend. And the agenda must be stated with specificity as to what is going to be discussed. Beyond that, that's what the law requires. And usually, and it depends on the board, 48 hours is the Supreme Court notice requirement as a standard. Of course, so this body would fall under that one. But that's the only legal requirement for a special call meeting that I know of. Okay.
And I just think that about anybody on this board really would be disheartened to know that there's the potential that they may not be able to participate, whether or not it's discussion or a vote on that. And I'm looking around and I see different expressions, but I think that if it was anyone that they would want
You
to
can Skype in
participate.
if you wish. Can't you?
Not
No,
if
not
it's
on
not your
that. I'm
vacation,
sorry.
you can't.
I'm sorry, not on that. Ms. Etheridge?
If it is the 17th, 18th, I'm automatically eliminated. That's just it. I won't be here, I can't be here, and I can't Skype in. And if you got 3 people that are very interested and would like to participate, I would just highly recommend you take that in consideration and move it to the next week where people are available and we meet on the 29th.
Well, not everybody's available the next week.
Well,
How many?
I don't know how
I mean,
many.
the 3 of you all would be, but there's some of the
I
rest
guess
of
we're
us
not
that are
important, so let's do the 29th, which is regular general meeting anyway.
May I ask,
For
Mr.
discussion.
Chairman, how many are available or out the next week?
Oh, there were 2 or 3, weren't there? She's what?
I was just prepared for board forum. I didn't, bring my entire calendar with me.
A couple of people.
So it may be 3 one week or out and
Yeah,
2 the
3 one
next,
week,
and we're going to
too.
choose the week. And I just say, if it happens to be, no doubt, this board tends to have 5-4 votes, and it just so happens that 3 who are usually in the 5 aren't out, and the next week they're here, that smacks as being wrong.
That's your opinion, you're entitled to your opinion.
Thank you.